This is JC from Real and Simulated Wars. Greetings from Eastern Syria. Brought to you by Battlefront's Combat Mission Shock Force 2. Scenario for today is Abu Susah, a classic scenario created by legendary scenario creator James Allen, now adapted for Combat Mission Shock Force number 2. Objective for today, it is to reach the other extreme of the scenario, bypassing the town of Abu Susah, which is occupied by militant and irregular forces armed with, of course, anti-tank capabilities. I'm playing the US side. I have 2 platoons of striker-based infantry. We're 1 kilometer off the town proper, and from very early on we have been able to spot some anti-tank ground missiles like this one that fortunately failed to guide. This guy is going to be killed soon. As per the objective of the mission, I'm going to bypass the town itself and I'm going to do a right flank movement, a hook type of movement. And in order to do that, I will have to secure some footholds along the way, just to make sure that I come into contact with as much troops threatening the right flank as possible. In this case, I'm using the 2nd platoon moving forward. They had literally not too much trouble, except for a few casualties that were engaged from the town itself. It has to be noted that this scenario features a good amount of snipers and some machine guns. So in these images I'm securing these buildings. I'm just halfway, very near to the town, some around 300 meters from the town, and this is the right flank, and that in the background is a critical objective. That hill is a farm, it's a sheep farm that needs to be secured because it dominates the battlefield. You can observe the town itself, which is located to the left, and it is very crucial terrain. My movement was relatively uneventful, except for some surprises here in this image and this sequence. One of my strikers was engaged by one RPG, an RPG-29, but we could take care of that pretty easy, thanks to the enormous firepower of our striker vehicles. And here comes the main show. A platoon that I have been holding back until right now has moved forward. And this reminded me of something that I read in this book, which is about operational art. But, you know, tactics and operations have this type of fractal structure where some principles do apply to both of them. And yes, this book is a bit dated. It is by the time that the air-land battle was coming to an end and was being replaced. But it is an interesting read, which I highly recommend. It is free online if you find it. So, if you look into the Ground Commander's View chapter, which is written by Crosby Sewell, you will see a chapter regarding, or a section regarding the use of reserves. And, well, as you know, there is this concept that we usually have that reserves are some sort of, oh my god, force, like something bad happened and I need to throw in my reserve, or something that I eventually decide to use. The view of this gentleman, of this officer, it is that reserves are the use of engaged forces in future time. In other words, this means that reserves are actually part of your scheme of maneuver. And this is exactly what is happening in my scenario over there. I'm just moving a platoon that I held back, but I always had the intention of it to be in the main show to secure that hill and move forward and defeat the enemy. And so they go at extreme speed with the infantry mounted on them towards that hill. It was a bit of a ballsy move, and as you will see later, they moved too close to the buildings near the ship farm. But again, with good use of suppression, as you can see, there is a mortar barrage falling down on that hill. It already happened. So these guys are just mounting into a vehicle to catch up with a platoon. These have been held back in an observation role, and it's time to move them forward. This is near the objective. You will see the combat was too close, almost kind of stomped over these religious fighters, and it was kind of scary. And of course there is still this mortar barrage falling down, which is coming to a stop right now. There is a vehicle IED over there apparently, or just a vehicle. There's a lot of suppression going on. So a guy, which apparently I don't know if it was a trigger or just a pistol, would just kill. I have it captured in the next sequence over there to see it in more detail. There we go. He dies very, very, very quickly. And then as soon as we secure that hill, we start receiving some fire over there. That enemy position in the forefront of this sequence, it is actually an anti-tank missile team that couldn't deploy, but took a time to react. The grenade launcher of one of the striker vehicles started hitting them, and they were immediately suppressed. They were able to, the enemy team was able to survive for a long, long time. And with the hill secure, it was time now to secure the building. Unfortunately, the roof of one of the buildings was gone, but my infantry could enter them with almost no casualties. There were a couple of injuries, and as you have seen, we have used the smoke. And then comes a part that I'm not very proud of. As I was running out of ammunition for the grenade launchers for the strikers, I started using javelins. Not very proud of that. Javelins should be reserved for armor, but I was running out of resources and I needed to suppress as much of the enemy as I could. So here is another javelin launch to distant positions. Everything that has a two-story structure is a candidate to have some missile position, so I do better even when I was not able to observe or identify any type of anti-tank enemy team on those. I would just suppress and fire these javelins. Again, something that I'm not very proud. I'm sure my commander would be really pissed off that they used so many jabs. But, well, you have to do what you have to do. These two-story buildings, the one in the foreground and the one in the background, have a direct line of sight towards the objective, which is just a touch objective, very easy to obtain. So as I moved my troops towards it, these are infantry moving towards that hill, I made sure that suppression was very, very good. That thing in the background is Abu Susah. As you can see, there were some leftover machine gun teams that were either suppressed or destroyed. And that's the objective, labeled in green. Oh, that bug is still there. The fence versus trench or ditch bug. surprised that it was there. I thought it was fixed. Anyway, first infantry team to reach very near the objective. Everything was so well suppressed that the objective was quickly achieved, and then the striker vehicles were left to move into the main area. Very far in the background, it is where we started. The mosque over there signals or is Abu Susah, and we bypass it using our right flank. And I will let you enjoy the last sequences. Still suppression going on. It surprises me how the striker vehicles, they have very low turning capabilities. And this is how we ended, with a tactical victory. We failed one of the objectives. We just got an acceptable rate. The enemy was allowed to keep one objective that costed us 150 points, or earned them 150 points. And well, it was a great mission. I don't remember playing it in Shock Force 1, and this is an overall view of the teams that were left. These guys, these religious fighters or whatever, have a lot of anti-tank firepower. It's a bit surprising, but nonetheless it was a fun scenario. And it came down to the wire. I secured the objective in the last minute. So I was worried that it was becoming a bit lousy. You know, as time goes by, you tend to do many stupid things. So that's it for today. I just wanted to share this. This is a panoramic view of the position of the troops. As you see, my troops in the background using the right hook. And that's it for today. I hope you enjoyed this video, and subscribe or like or not. Thank you.